Okay, well, um, never done this before, so new to all this. But it is March 21st of 2020, and we are in what I hope is the midst of the COVID-19 epidemic. Um, and I was reading an article about how we should kind of record our thoughts and everything like that so people know it in the future. People can learn from it in the future. Hopefully, there's a future that people can learn this from. Um, so yeah, like I said, it's March 21st, and I'm in Conshohocken, Pennsylvania, which is a little town. We're like 5 miles outside of Philly. My parents live in Philly, and their house is like 15 minutes away. Um, so I just completed my first week of working remotely. I'm an accountant, so we were in the midst of tax season. Um, as of yesterday, they extended the tax season filing deadline to July 15th, as opposed to the normal April 15th. Um, so, not really sure if that means tax season hours are over, which, I mean, plus and minus, be kind of nice. Also, be nice to have something certain in my day. That's kind of my main problem right now is there's a lot of uncertainty. Um, I deal with anxiety and stuff like that in my day-to-day life, and this has not been helping. But I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are feeling that right now. Currently, we're not. Pennsylvania is not. Conshohocken's not. Philadelphia is not in any type of shelter in place or restricted uh, things. Sorry, my dog's making noises in the background, so ignore her. Right now, all non-life essential businesses are closed, or at least they're supposed to be. There are some that are kind of defying the order and staying open. So it kind of remains to be seen what happens with them. Um, but the non-life essential, like there's a lot of exceptions, or I mean, there's a lot of things that are deemed life essential. Which interestingly enough, I found beer distributors were on that list, which I don't know why, but I kind of love. Also, interestingly enough, at least in Massachusetts, weed dispensaries were not. So that's an interesting tidbit for the future. But yeah, it's like grocery stores, pharmacies, things like that that you need for life, for food, for medicine, stuff like that. Not sure about doctors' offices. Certain non-essential offices have closed. My roommate's dad works as a pain physician, so like elective surgeries for the next little while have been canceled and stuff of that nature. Which honestly, kind of you can make the argument about quality of life with something like that. Personally, in my opinion. Um, Evidently, I've been working from home, so I'm not wearing traditional work attire, but I do have my "We Can Do It" Rosie the Riveter shirt. Um, and even though no one's seeing me except me and my dog, I have been trying to wear inspirational quotes to try to help get me through my day. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, like I said, we can still go outside. It was spring yesterday, I think, or the day before. Days are always hard for me during tax season. And it was beautiful yesterday. It was like 75 degrees. And by the end of the day, it was sunny. A lot of people, even in lockdown places, because there are certain states and stuff that are right now, California's entirely in shelter in place, Illinois is in shelter in place, I think New York's in shelter in place. I just saw New Jersey went down today. Even they're still allowed to like go outside and go to parks and stuff as long as they maintain the social distancing of 6 feet. And I kind of low key have a feeling this could be stopped soon, only because if you look at pictures of parks, there are people everywhere. And I mean, most of them are like groups are social distancing from each other, but within the group. On the other hand, though, you're with your family in the house anyway, and you're not social distancing in your house. So I don't really know. Um, Unfortunately, that's just kind of the existence that's going on right now. I don't really know. Which, like I said, somebody who is already in my high stress part of my job and my anxiety kicking in, that combo is awful. Awful. Not having the answers is something that scares me most in life. And so the entire world not having the answers is not a fun thing to think about. I try not to, honestly. I try really hard just to focus on the things that I can deal with. Things like having food for the next 2 weeks. I'm like, right now I'm all stocked up on food. Kind of a boon I can cook, honestly. My dog just spilled water all over the place, but whatever. It's water, it'll dry. It's things like prepared food, frozen meals, and stuff like that were gone. About a week ago, I want to say. I was still at my office last Saturday. And by last Friday, when I went grocery shopping, a lot of the frozen food was gone. But things like, people are really weird. People wouldn't, even when we're in this like crisis situation, wouldn't buy things that they weren't familiar with. And I don't get it. Like, pasta's pasta. Why does it matter what shape it is? But if people didn't know it, people didn't like it. People didn't understand. And I guess people want comfort when they're scared. But like, hi baby. My dog's come over to say hello. It's almost time for her to go out anyway, so I gotta wrap this up kind of soon. But like boxed mac and cheese, people wouldn't buy the boxed mac and cheese with the white cheese sauce. Like, I get it, some kids are picky eaters. And again, I get like we all want to have the thing that comforts us in times of like worry and whatever else. But for God's sake, mac and cheese is mac and cheese. Why does it matter? And that kind of applies to the whole store. I saw pictures in Pittsburgh. I went to the University of Pittsburgh. My dad's from Pittsburgh. I'm a Steelers fan. I'm a Penguins fan. Don't at me. I'm also an Eagles and a Flyers fan. Anyways, I love Pittsburgh. And they're an insanely tribal city. And they like what they like and they like their own. So there were pictures in Giant Eagle, which is their grocery store, of the entire ketchup section, and only the Heinz ketchup was gone. Everything else was there. It's like, okay, if we're in a panic situation enough that we're buying ketchup for, God knows how many weeks or months to come, buy the other ketchup. Like, believe me, Heinz is better. I like Heinz best. I'm sorry, Hunt's and whatever other brands of ketchup exist in the world. But like, I'm Pittsburgh enough that I like Heinz better. Also, it has been several days. It's been, I guess, about a week since all sports have been canceled. That one's been hard, personally. I love sports. Sports would have been an amazing way to get away, to look at something else, to just sit back and watch a baseball game, to go to a baseball game. This has highlighted an amazing amount of things that we took for granted. Um, to go to my parents' house. My parents' house is, like I said, less than 5 miles away, about 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Um, and right now, there's no stipulation saying I can't, saying, I'm not allowed to, but it's coming. It's coming. I feel certain it's coming. I'm in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, and right now Montgomery County has the highest number of cases. So I'm just watching my dog. Um, I feel certain by, let's be really generous and say Wednesday, we're going to be in a shelter in place. Because I don't see how we couldn't be, essentially. Um, so yeah, I think that's everything for now. If anything, this has just highlighted that people panic. Honestly, I think we would have been fine if people didn't start panic buying. Because immediately people, like nearly 2 weeks ago, went and were buying all of the toilet paper. Like, I just have several questions about that. Like, do you not just keep toilet paper in your home? Like, do you exist roll to roll? Um, and if not, if like you're saying like we have to stock up, you went for toilet paper over food? Like, I don't get it. I don't. Also, like cleaning supplies. Like, do you not keep cleaning supplies in your house? Like, I looked the other day just because I was curious, and we have like 3 containers of Lysol wipes just like permanently in stock in case we need them. Um, at the same time, we're BJ's members, so we do buy some things in bulk. Um, I happened to do a bulk shop for tax season, so I wouldn't, because I don't really have time to go to the grocery store during tax season. I tend to get my food delivered, although that's slightly changing now. So I do have like large boxes of cereals that will last me, if I calculated it right. Hi, honey. Um, through early April. So like there's that. But like the things that people are buying are just ridiculous to me. Um, I'm gonna go there now when I take Daisy out on a walk. But a lot of small Asian grocery stores have been hit really hard by this. Because people are present. Oh, our president. I can't even with our president. We have an idiot for our president right now who sits there and claims everything is fine, we're doing things right, and it's a China virus. Seriously? Seriously? It the only like conceivable reason for calling something a China virus would be if that was like the medical acronym or something. And even then, no. Um, yeah, no, there is no conceivable reason to do that. And all it does is spark fear and hatred. The amount of hate crimes that have occurred against Asian American people, regardless of origin, because let's be completely honest, Americans can't tell a lot of things about people that aren't from here. Um, but the average American could not look at somebody and say your family came from Korea, your family came from Japan, your family came from China, and they just say, "Oh, well, you're all Asian, so you're all evil and bad," and that's insane and ridiculous. And people are just showing true colors right now, and it's sad to see that that's what's going on. On the other hand, there has been there's been a lot of good. As Mr. Rogers famously said, "Look for the helpers." Actually, to be fair, it was his mother who told him that, and he was the one who got famous for saying it. So look for the helpers, look for the people who are helping, who are doing good, who are trying to help. And there are videos that, I'm sure if this sees the future, you have access to these videos. But there are videos of entire blocks in Italy and Spain singing, of people bringing pianos onto their balconies so people can listen to music. There are pictures of kids, like small kids with like their little tiny violins, like playing on their porches. There's been, the connectivity that people have shown is really nice and slightly comforting when you think about the people who have, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, like I said, I'm new at this. I literally don't have anything written down or anything. I know I should do this. I know, or at least I hope, that this will help people in the future. At the very least, historians can look at what I wear and what I said and can glean some ideas of what 2020 was like. And I epically suck at journaling. Like, epically. Like, when I went to Israel, my aunt was like, "You have to journal every day." And I was like, "Yes, I do. I have to journal every day. I have to remember everything that happened." I journaled for about 5 days. And guess which days of my trip I remember? I mean, I remember the other ones. I remember the big things. I have pictures, but like the minute details that I know about those 5 days, I know. Other ones, I don't remember anymore. Yeah. Oh, also, the 2020 election is kind of low-key going on. We're in the primaries, and it's down to this point for the Democratic primary. It's between Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. And so far, Joe Biden has failed to make an appearance, but for God knows what fucking reason, has continued to win primaries. And Bernie Sanders has been like, "Hey, remember all these things I said we should do right now? Yeah, we got to do them to just help the world and the economy continue to exist." And I just kind of think in the back of my mind that, as fucked up as it would be, Donald Trump might be the president when some of Bernie's policies go into place. Because he's right. He's right. We need to do things. They're talking right now, I don't know if it got approved or not, about sending a check. Yeah, you're not supposed to touch your face anymore. I'm really bad at that. But you know what? I also am by myself in my apartment. So, yeah, and don't worry, I wash my hands every time I go out, every time I come in. I have hand sanitizer in my car, I have hand sanitizer in my bag. I kind of do what I can. Anyway, also should probably point out, just in case, I am a high risk individual for getting this. I have asthma that as a child was pretty severe. I've been hospitalized for my asthma. I was the kid who had to have multiple nebulizer treatments a day. I had, a school nebulizer, I had a home nebulizer. Thankfully, as I've gotten older, my asthma has gone down. Well, I don't know if it's gone down, but not flared up as badly. I don't know. I don't know the correct terminology. I do have my inhaler that I use incredibly sparingly. I use it when I go to the gym because, exercise doesn't help. Exercise never helps. Exercise is evil. it's not, and I should do it more, but I don't. Um, but anyway, it does get a lot worse when I'm sick. I know this is a lung problem. This is a lung disease, not disease, but a lung virus. It's a pneumonia, whatever, like pneumonia. I have actually gone through pneumonia before. It was not good. I was, according to the doctors, by the time I went into the doctors, a day away from being hospitalized because of how bad it had gotten. To be fair, that was 1,000,000% on me. Turns out, if you have a cold or something you think is a cold, and then a couple days later, you spike a really bad fever, like, I don't know, 103, you should go to the doctors. Me, I was in college. I was a senior in college, and I thought it was like finals week, or like just the week before finals week, I think. It was December. It was in December of 20, what year did I graduate? 2017. Turns out, yeah, you should go to the doctor. I thought, well, I mean, I have a fever, I have a cold. It's not like they can give me any meds for it. What can they do except tell me to go home and go to bed? So, following that supposed advice, I just went home and went to bed. Turned into pneumonia. It was not good. Yeah. Now, granted, I'm high risk, but I'm lower risk than a lot of other high risk people. So at the moment, I'm still doing things like going to the grocery store. Obviously, I have to walk my dog. I take my dog for 4 walks a day. We live we live on an apartment complex community thing, so I don't ever leave the complex. I only just walk her around the complex. I don't get near enough other people. If she sees a dog, we have a really long retractable leash that's 16 feet. She gets about 10 feet, and then she can go say hi to the other dog where the person is. I don't get near the other person. But yeah, so I'm gonna try. And again, we are question mark in tax season. Kind of waiting for my firm to say what we're gonna do. If either we just keep what I think we're gonna do and what I hope we're gonna do is we're just gonna keep preparing all the returns we can from now until April 15th, like we normally do. Because normally we prepare as many as we can and then we have to file extensions for all the rest. This year we don't have to file extensions because the deadline was moved. So what I'm hoping we'll do is continue working our crazy hours for the next, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, no. It's okay. It's not my job to count or anything. Or approximately the next 4 weeks. And then call it. But again, we don't know right now. We don't know anything. So yeah, I'm going to try to do one of these daily. Which is probably good because it'll give me motivation to shower and make sure my hair doesn't look absolutely disgusting. Because realistically, honestly, if it was just me in this apartment for weeks on end, God knows how many times my hair was going to get washed because no one was going to see it. So this will be good. All right. Thanks. We'll talk later.